Hey there, everybody. Hope you're having a fantastic now. The moment that you're listening to this, people often ask me, Sherm, what's the ROI of social media? You're putting all this time into all these posts, into all these videos, and all this podcast. Look, number one is if I'm looking for an immediate return, just like if I were to just meet someone, a stranger, and I immediately want something from them, they're going to read right through that and know that I'm only in things for myself. And so understand my why is to leave a legacy by positively impacting people. And social media gives me the opportunity to impact positively everybody that decides to engage with me worldwide. Where right now, if you want to engage with me belly to belly, face to face, you have to live pretty close to me in order for that to happen. And so social media basically allows me as a platform to be able to leverage my positivity, my cockeyed optimism, my crazy Asian antics to you, wherever you are in the world. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do. So I don't need you to buy anything. I don't need you to even listen to every single thing that I put out. And I would actually tell you, don't try to keep up with everything that I put out, because there's no value. On my podcast, I talk about this quite a bit. On Monday, I talk about leadership. Tuesday's career progression. Wednesday's motivation. Thursday's social media. And then Friday, I round it off with personal development. And the reason why I have those different themes, number one, is those are things that I'm super passionate about and I love talking about. Also, I want to make sure that you, as a listener, as an audience person, doesn't have to consume my podcast Monday to Friday. I do have some bonus, sometimes some bonus segments and additions on the weekend, but mainly Monday to Friday, those are my main themes. And so if you're interested in leadership, you only need to listen to my podcast on Mondays. You can forget Tuesday to Friday and not listen to any of it. And so that gives you as an audience member the opportunity to be able to engage on things that you find of importance. And then of course, the way that I work in the posts is on Instagram. I like to have a profile of the day. So I want to be able to showcase someone else in the community of Instagram community, right? So they could be, again, this is global, this is worldwide. And so it's just an opportunity for me to be able to engage with people. So people get stuck on this idea that I need this ROI, I need this rate of return. And so I tell them, number one is think about when the phone first came out and people were on the phone and or the TV, right? Now let's start there first. Everybody used to listen to everything on TV, on the radio, right? Scripts were made, entertainment was made, news was made, everything was consumed in radio. And then all of a sudden the TV came out, right? That tiny little black and white little picture. And all of a sudden people were like, oh man, it's all about the TV. But those that overly consume the TV are going to go nowhere. They didn't think that, you could have productions on TV, right? And then all of a sudden movies came out. And then of course we had the .com, right? Websites were all over the place. If people remember, they used to have little trackers at the very bottom. They used to number how many people used to come onto that. You cared about the traffic that went onto the website. However, you kind of didn't, right? You still wanted people to actually come on the website and buy something and actually engage with you. So you realize for a lot of businesses, having a .com, having a website was just to have a presence online. Where those that had the opportunity, they saw the opportunity that they could actually build a business and not actually have your traditional brick and mortar, think eBay, think Amazon, and all of a sudden they exploded. Then you had things that were more socially it was more of a social media strategy or a platform. It wasn't a platform back in the day. Remember, we used to have these chat rooms on AOL when you had to log in and you had the modems. That was the sound that you would wait for, and then all of a sudden it was super exciting. And what's interesting though in those chat rooms is that was the first beginning of social media, right? So you had these different groups that would get together and they would talk about specific topics, right? And that was kind of their deal. And so what happened was then MySpace came out and Facebook, probably around almost the same time. And that's where you started being able to engage with people. Then of course, dating websites came up, and then we went into Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat. And so what's interesting here is people have forgotten that all those things are social. They're social media platforms. And so I see so many posts out there that are just trying to sell you a product, just trying to sell you a service, or just putting out just motivational quotes because they're like, I just need people to like my posts, right? So they're so stuck on the short term of their posts, right? They actually care that how many people are going to monitor it in the first few minutes that they post it, that they literally can't get away from it, that they end up having short-term results. So instead of producing their own content, they're just copying other stuff out there. Now, there is value of being like a DJ and only showcasing what you think is good out there. At the same time, know that if you're trying to promote you're trying to have your own personal brand out there, you need to then share of yourself. And you don't need to be 100% vulnerable. For some people, they want to be able to have I'm going to use this term, a D-Rock, basically follow them and be a videographer of their life, and they want to document it out. But not everybody needs to go that route. So as you think about your need for social media having an ROI, that is such a short-term game. You need to think way more long-term. You're trying to engage with people and have them be introduced to you. So you need to engage. It's about human connections. Your network, whether it's belly to belly, face to face in your own community, gets built over conversations one at a time. And then your social media presence, the digital network, gets built the exact same way. So what is the ROI of social media? Who cares? Engage. Sherm's out.